on the Leopold study, do award-winning commercials sell? There's a study based on gathering together the case histories for the 400 most awarded commercials in the world in the 4 years 92 to 95. Foreign commercials or campaigns, they came from 185 different agencies in 28 different markets. And the tough part, of course, was getting all 400 case histories in, which we did succeed in doing. And as a believer, I was pretty confident that we'd get a good result, but even I was pretty knocked back by the scale of the findings, because it turned out that 346, or otherwise 86.5% of the 400 most awarded commercials or campaigns in the world in these 4 years were associated with marketplace success. In other words, the predetermined goals for the advertising set by the client were achieved or surpassed. And Leopold, in fact, repeated the study in 2002 with the universe, the 180 most awarded commercials in the previous 3 years. This was presented by Michael Conrad at Cannes, and even in much tougher economic times, and for the cynical, with a research guy and not a creative person in charge of the project, associated with marketplace success was 82%. Now, this is going to be a sweeping generalization, one I've been told I can make. If you look at a given product category at a given point of time in a given market, what tends to be happening on average is that 1/3 of the brands are going up, 1/3 are going down, and 1/3 are kind of holding. Well, 86.5% or 82% is over 2.5 times better than 33%. And this may suggest that our clients, customers, and award show judges have got something in common in the way they react to advertising. Now, here comes the stop press stuff, because just a few months ago, a second study was completed, and this was organised by the IPA, Emma referred to it, in the UK, the Institute of Practitioners in Advertising. It was carried out by Peter Field, who's an absolutely top-notch, independent academic researcher, and it was sponsored by Thinkbox, who are actually funded by the commercial television industry to promote TV advertising. And it's only been presented once so far. It's going to be presented again this month on October the 26th at a very important event called the Brand Finance Forum in London. So you're getting into the second exposure. This is a very encapsulated version using some of Peter's charts, but it will just show you the gist of what it proved. Now, so, right, the link between creativity and effectiveness results of merging the IPA effectiveness data with Gunn Report Creative Awards data. And so the basic thing was to then break the IPA Effectiveness Awards winners from 2002 to 2008 into two groups: those that won for effectiveness and also won for creativity, according to the Gunn Report, and those that won for effectiveness but didn't have creative awards. Now, the IPA, in their Effectiveness Awards database, which is over 1,000 cases, have identified the fact that a very common and important factor in success and effectiveness is extra share of voice. And from 1,000 plus cases, they can state for a fact that 10 points of extra share of voice will, on average, result in 1.1 points of extra points of share growth. On average, 1.1 points of share growth per 10 points of extra share of voice. Taking the half of the sample that was effectiveness but not creatively awarded, that 1.1 was actually 0.5. Now, that's still good value, because obviously the size of a category is going to be 20 to 50 times bigger than the amount spent on advertising it. So that's still good value. But with the ones that were IPA Effectiveness Awarded and Gunn Report Creatively Awarded, the 1.1 that had become 0.5 turned out to be 5.7. So 10 points of extra share of voice, if it's creative as well as effective, are going to give you 11 times better chances of success. That's point one. Right, they've got another measure. They've got a lot of code names here. ESR is excessive success rate. Now, this actually focuses on effectiveness, and ESR is those effectiveness cases that are based on the hard stuff, the real McCoy, sales, profit, share, instead of the vaguer, softer stuff like attitude and awareness shifts. And in this case, the IPA plus, the IPA awarded plus gun awarded, if you look at the first column, was 75% versus 59 for IPA awarded, not gun awarded, in the low extra share of voice band, and 84 versus 80, 88 versus 80 in the high band. So actually when you've got a tighter budget, the benefit of creativity is even more so. And I'll just give you one more finding. They did another breakdown. They took those that were effectiveness awarded and gun awarded and broke that into two parts. High gun awarded, high number of gun points, more than 6, and lower, more modest gun points, -6. And this time again, the high gun report scores got 12.1 versus 3.5 in the low extra share of voice band, and 0.8 versus 0.1 in the high band. In other words, this is kind of saying that the more creatively awarded, the more people who thought that this is great in juries and so on, and attendance at festivals, the more effective it seems to be likely to be. So here's an idea that's actually cheaper and less time consuming than copy test. The copy testing, make the ads and enter them in award shows and see if they win. But less frivolously, more fundamentally, the whole study, in fact, would suggest the following, that you can buy awareness, but you can't buy fame. You can buy awareness, you can't buy fame. Only good ads that people enjoy and engage with and talk about with their friends can do that. And to finish off, well, here's some examples of what we're talking about. Do you remember the Talking Stain commercial for Tide to Go? This was voted #1 in the Super Bowl in 2008, and the shipments were up 27% nationally in the January, February, March quarter. Gatorade's replay, the replay 15 years later of the 7-7 drawn college game between Easton, Pennsylvania and Phillipsburg, New Jersey, it saw sales in the region where the contest was held soar 63%. And Canal Plus Closet, it was in our first reel. This is the most awarded commercial in the world in 2010 to date. The TNF study in France reports that 10% of new subscribers to Canal Plus are giving the advertising as the reason. Second most awarded campaign in the world in 2010 to date is the Viagra campaign in Canada from Taxi, where older couples find that their antiquing or strolling or reading compulsions go away. Viagra has successfully retained 2/3 of the Canadian market despite 2 important competitive launches. Now I hope Franco's in the room, because this is this wonderful stuff due to him. This is for Ariston Aqualtis washing machine. Do you remember the socks and the bras and the shirts that were swimming around in the washing machine? Underwater World is maybe Italy's most awarded ever TV spot, or maybe equal with Persia Sculptor. Anyway, sales were up 30% during the on-air period, despite a 50% price premium, and Ariston became market leader. This is the Smooth E beauty counselor campaign in Thailand, and it's certainly Thailand's most awarded campaign ever in TV. It propelled the brand to an increase in sales of 153% in its first month on air. They made 4.25 million gift sets. This was the product, banded to a DVD of the commercials, and these 4.25 million sold out in 2 weeks. Happy Dent. Oh no. Yeah, the Melody Road. I thought it was Happy Dent. No, something going to come in. The Melody Road, Dunlop Towers in Japan, Dentsu Razorfish. Traffic fatalities were down 10 to 20% in the Nagano prefecture. At the same time, tourist revenues were up 20% because the Melody Road became a tourist attraction in its own right. There it is. Right, Happy Dent Tooth Whitening Gum in India, India's most awarded ever TV commercial. To cut a long story short, Professor Van Mello had to build a bit more factory. And the Magic Salad Plate in Australia for 420 meat pies, sales responded with a 40% increase in single serve sales and 27% in 4 packs. You'll remember Honda Cog and Honda Gur. These were the 2 most awarded commercials in the first 11 years of the Gunn Report. The Power of Dreams campaign, as a result of it, 31% of motorists in the UK claimed that they would consider a Honda for their next car. Now, the Gorilla for Cadbury's was dismissed by many as indulgent. Cadbury's Dairy Milk has been the long-time confectionery market leader in the UK, but sales have been plateaued, actually slightly declining since more than 10 years. Sales were up by 9% in Gorilla's 12 weeks on air, and up by 5% for the whole year. Third last example, Burger King's Whopper Freakout, where counter staff were briefed to tell customers that the corporate overlords had stricken the Whopper from the menu, and people's horrified reactions to this news were filmed with hidden camera. Sales were up 4.5% versus a year ago. Now in the fast food market in the USA, that 4.5 is mega bucks. And the world's biggest signpost for Nokia, the world's biggest signpost, a whopping 129% increase in users. And finally, I'm proud of this, it's from Leonet. This is WWF World Wildlife Fund Earth Hour. In the original Sydney event, which we're seeing here, the 2 million business residents of the city were persuaded to turn their lights off for an hour. In one year, Earth Hour grew from 1 city to 6 continents, 400 cities, and with roughly 50 million people taking part. Now, we've seen laundry products like Tide, isotonic drinks like Gatorade, medicines, white goods, cosmetics and toiletries, cars, fast foods, TV channels, Dunlop tires, confectionery, a global environmental campaign. These are not little niche categories or shops around the corner. What we're seeing here is dynamite credit work delivering dynamite business results for big budget blue chip clients. What we're seeing here is ads that build reputation for the long haul at one and the same time as they produce sales for the immediate presence. We're looking at ads that build share of mind as well as share of market. So this evening, when we applaud the winners as they come onto the stage, let's remember that they're not the only winners this evening. The other winners are the clients for whom this extra likeable and almost certainly extra efficient and extra effective advertising has been created. And finally, the ultimate winners are these clients' customers, the clients' customers who are buying the products and watching the ads, and who, instead of having their time wasted, get wonderful ads they can enjoy on the TV in their home.